Hello everyone, let's talk about another medium problem on Leetcode today. Maximize happiness of selected children, Leetcode 3075. It says that given an array of happiness of length n and a positive integer k, we return the maximum sum of the happiness value of the selected children you can achieve by selecting k children. So the way they say is like this happiness array has n happiness values of n children, right? And we want to select k children from these n children, taking k turns. In each turn, we select a children and reduce the happiness of value of the remaining children by 1. And we will keep on doing it till we select the k children. And also, the happiness cannot be less than 0. So that means the sadness value is 0, basically. It can't be negative. Then they give some good examples. So for example, this one, in the first array, we get like 1, 2, 3 as 3 happiness values of 3 children. And we are allowed to select, we can pick 2 children at a time because k is equal to 2. Then we pick up the happiness value of children like at index 2, which is value equal to 3. Now we subtract the happiness of the remaining children by 1, so it will be 0 and 1. And then we pick up the second children, and now k is equal to 2 is done because we picked up the 2 children, and the happiness value will be equal to 4 in this case, right? Because we want to get the maximum value. So if we think about it, it's actually a greedy problem because um, we can actually achieve this by we are maximizing it, and we can actually achieve it by just sorting the array. In the first problem, we were lucky that the array was already sorted. So let's look at the example. So what we can do is, suppose we have this array, right? 1, 2 and 3, right? With the values 1, 2 and 3. And suppose k was equal to 2. So what we can do is, like, we can pick up for the first value, we can just pick up like the value equal to 3 from this array, that because that's the maximum. And now we go to this index, right? So the answer for us so far is 3. Now when we are picking up 2, what we can do is, like, what is the number of turns that have happened? So we have just picked up 1, right? One value so far. So that means number of turn is just 1 so far. So we will subtract it from here, and the answer will and add it to the answer. Now suppose and we are done, right? And that this is what our answer is. Suppose k was equal to 3. In that case, what we will do is, like, we will just go to this point and now do 1 minus 2, because number of turns, because we have picked up so far 2 values, that was the value of k. So number of turns is like which results in the reduction in the value of k, basically. So now suppose k was equal to 3, so we will do 1 minus 2. But if you remember, the happiness cannot be less than 0. So we will just add 0 to it. So our happiness value will still stay, 4, even though k was equal to 3. So with that in mind, there are multiple ways to solve this problem. One can be we saw it, right? We can just sort the array in the ascending order and start from the end of it, start picking up the values. And when we are picking up the value, we subtract the number of turns we have taken so far, because if you think about it, why we subtracted minus 2 from here, because we had already picked up 2 elements. So that means we have picked up 2 times the value, and the remaining elements in the array has to be subtracted by 2 times. So that's why we are doing it. And this is one approach. Another approach can be, we can sort it in the descending order, so that the array becomes like 3, 2, 1. And now we start picking up the value again from left to right instead of right to left. And the concept will be same. So we will pick up 3, then we will pick up 2 minus 1, because that 2 that is the next maximum value minus number of turns that has happened so far, plus, so say 1 minus 2, if assuming k equal to 3. And of course this will be negative, so it will become 0, and the answer will be still the same. And another last approach I can again think of is very similar. We can use a max heap, again pick up the maximum value from it, subtract the number of turns that have happened so far and keep on adding it to the answer, provided they are more than equal to 0. And this is how this and indirectly we are using heap sort there. So now let's jump into the code part. So what we can do is, like, we can first sort the array, say in the ascending order, and now we can start from the and we will also need a variable called turns. So I'm just denoting it by 0 because so far no turns have happened. And answer, I think answer is long, so I have to create a separate variable for that. Now what we will do is, like, we can start from the end of the array because we have sorted in the ascending order, and we know that uh, the maximum happiness or maximum happy child will be at the end of the array. So we will just now do I greater than equal to n minus k, because at maximum n should be so I should be reaching from like k times minus. So in general we will start from n minus 1, but when we subtract the value it should be more than equal to n minus k, and then I minus minus, right, because we are going down or from going from right to left. And now what we will do is we will just uh, add the answer like we talked about. Uh, and what we will do is, like, we will just do mat.max, because either we want the 0 or whatever is the maximum value we are getting so far. So the maximum value will be happiness I minus number of turns that have happened so far. So initially j will be equal to 0, then we will keep on incrementing. And in a way we are actually subtracting this value from k, right? And if once we are done, we can just return the answer now. There is some issue here. What it says is, because I have not created, yeah, it should do it now. We should declare the variable. There is still a problem. So it says that, I didn't even did this, so we can just, let's see if this fixes the issue. Awesome, this does. And now we can just run the code, submit the code. Awesome. So when it comes to time complexity, all the approaches will have time complexity of O and log n. And in case we use the priority queue, building the priority queue takes and why it's O and log n, because we are sorting the array, right? And then we are doing O of n time to actually calculate this answer ans. But in case of priority queue, when we build the priority queue, the max heap, the time complexity is O of n. But after that, we pull out k elements from the max heap using which will be taking k log n time. But in practice, this whole thing will be O of n plus O of k log n, and which will return in O of n log n. And in terms of space complexity, it will be O of n. Go check out the code on my site, linked into the description. I hope you, if this video helps you, please do like and subscribe. Cheers.